Why the would I respond to you and you not even putting up money for this fight, Bill? You're not putting up no capital. Why the would I get you on the phone and try to negotiate anything with you, Bill? Didn't you just sign with a promoter? Didn't you just sign with a promoter? We're not talking to you, Bill. Obviously, your promoter not talking to you. Bill, why are you DMing me? You act like a little nigga. You DMing me. I'm 20. I'm your son age, and you riding me. I'm sorry. Lord have mercy. I'm sorry. And you on my line. Hey, Bill, when I beat the shit out your son, I would love for you to be my promoter. I'm for real. I would love for you to be my promoter. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Keyshawn Davis didn't hold anything back after his fight with Devin Haney was officially confirmed. What started as a simple exchange quickly turned into a fiery confrontation with Bill Haney, and within moments the boxing world was paying close attention. The tension between Keyshawn and the Haney camp had been building for a long time, with both sides taking shots at each other through interviews, podcasts, and social media. Every new comment only added more fuel to an already heated rivalry, leaving fans eager to see these two settle their differences inside the ring. As excitement for the fight continued to grow, one question kept coming up among boxing fans. Why hadn't the deal been finalized yet? Rumors began spreading that Keyshawn had stopped responding during negotiations, causing many people to believe the fight might be falling apart behind the scenes. Those claims quickly gained traction online, with fans debating who was really responsible for the delay. Instead of staying silent and letting those stories grow even bigger, Keyshawn decided it was time to speak for himself. During a lengthy live stream, Keyshawn addressed the situation head-on and made it clear that he wanted fans to hear his side of the story directly from him. He pushed back against the rumors, challenged the narrative that was being shared online, and insisted that not everything happening behind the scenes was being reported accurately. His emotional response showed just how frustrated he had become, while also making one thing very clear: he was no longer willing to let other people control the conversation. From that moment on, the rivalry reached another level, and the anticipation for a showdown with Devin Haney became even bigger than before.
DM me right now, and I told him get the f on. And you know what he did? He hearted my message and got the f on, because this he was talking about. I told OG get the f on. Stop DMing me. OG's story, you'll see that he posted. I'm hiding. I'm phone calls from my manager and my promoter. How the f would you know if I'm phone calls from my manager? From my manager.
From the moment Keyshawn Davis started speaking, it was obvious he wasn't interested in giving a calm, carefully prepared response. Instead, he chose to speak openly and honestly, making it clear that he was frustrated with everything being said about him. According to Keyshawn, there was a huge difference between the stories fans were hearing online and what was actually happening behind the scenes. He believed that many people were judging the situation without knowing the full truth, and he wanted to set the record straight. Rather than wasting time arguing with people on social media, Keyshawn claimed that certain individuals were creating false narratives to damage his reputation and make it seem like he was avoiding the fight. In his view, those accusations were designed to shift attention away from the real negotiations and put unnecessary pressure on him. He insisted that the public only knew a small part of the story, while the most important conversations were taking place behind closed doors. What seemed to frustrate him the most wasn't just the criticism itself, but how quickly so many fans accepted those claims as facts. Without hearing his side of the story, many people had already made up their minds about what was happening. Keyshawn made it clear that he wasn't going to stay silent any longer. He wanted fans to look beyond the headlines, question the rumors circulating online, and wait until all the facts came out before deciding who was really responsible for the delays. His message was simple: don't believe everything you see on social media, because the real story is often much more complicated than it appears.
Beat your son. Let's sing Kumbaya. Let's go to Dubai or something. I don't know. And let's get back cool after I beat your son and be my promoter. I'm gonna make you money, nigga. That's what it's about, right? I'm gonna make you money. You gonna have Devin and me making you millions after I beat his ass. And we can make more money. But be my promoter, Bill. Because it seems like you look like you wanna do it. I'm giving you the invitation. After I beat your son ass, you can come over here. You can come home.
As the live stream went on, Keyshawn Davis shifted his attention directly toward Bill Haney, making it clear that this wasn't just about social media drama anymore. He argued that the image being presented to the public was completely different from what was actually happening behind the scenes. According to Keyshawn, the private conversations taking place during negotiations told a very different story, and that contradiction was one of the biggest reasons he decided to speak out publicly. Keyshawn suggested that the pressure being placed on him through interviews, tweets, and public comments didn't match the reality of the ongoing discussions. In his view, too much attention was being given to creating headlines instead of focusing on making the fight happen. He believed that some of the public statements were meant to influence fans and shape opinions before any official agreements had even been reached. That, he felt, created unnecessary distractions and took attention away from the real business of finalizing the fight. He also explained that there is a big difference between promoting a fight and creating false narratives simply to gain an advantage. While he understands that building hype is part of boxing, Keyshawn believes there should be a limit. He felt that the rivalry had gone beyond normal promotion and had turned into an attempt to control the public conversation. By sharing his perspective, Keyshawn wanted fans to understand that not everything they see online reflects what is really happening behind closed doors. For him, the priority has always been getting into the ring, not winning battles on social media.
I want to throw it out there, but bro, I'm not focused on going back and forth with y'all on Twitter every day. I'm raising my son. Y'all is crazy. Talk about how I'm scared. Y'all is crazy, bro. Y'all crazy. Y'all is crazy. I'm scared. Oh my God. Bet. Y'all want to believe I'm scared? Bet. Believe that I'm scared. I believe I got trouble with boxers. Believe I'm scared. Believe that. Just believe what the you want to believe. But I'm telling the fans right now, don't believe them because them start false narratives. That's all I'm saying. They start false narratives. They try to make. See, I know what's going to happen tomorrow on this purse bid. I know. I already had conversations with his bosses. I already fucking know. I know the numbers. I know. I'm part of it. I know what the is going on. So why am I going back and forth on Twitter with these when I fucking know? I'm having conversations with these people that's putting the fight.
Another thing that stood out during Keyshawn Davis's live stream was the confidence he showed despite all the criticism surrounding him. At no point did he sound unsure about facing Devin Haney. If anything, the constant talk from fans and critics only seemed to make him even more determined. Throughout the broadcast, he repeatedly made it clear that he has no fear of stepping into the ring and believes the fight will eventually happen. In his eyes, all the debates, accusations, and online arguments will mean nothing once the opening bell rings. Instead of responding to every claim made against him, Keyshawn kept bringing the conversation back to what really matters, the fight itself. He insisted that people can believe whatever they want for now, but sooner or later, everything will be settled inside the ring. According to him, that's where the real answers will come, not on social media or in interviews. He believes actions speak louder than words, and he's confident that his performance will silence anyone who doubts him. That level of self-belief has become one of Keyshawn's biggest trademarks. Whether fans support him or criticize him, he never seems afraid to speak his mind or stand by his opinions. It's one of the main reasons his interviews and live streams attract so much attention. Every time he goes public, he creates headlines, sparks debate, and gives boxing fans something new to talk about. As the rivalry with Devin Haney continues to grow, Keyshawn's confidence is becoming just as big a storyline as the fight itself, making the anticipation for this potential showdown even greater.
Fuck, I'm talking to you for, Bill. You're not putting on no money. You ain't shit. You're a hell of a promoter. But I'm just letting the fans know that the narratives that he coming out with don't even make sense. Since when I'm scared of anybody? Since when I don't answer the phone call from my own fucking manager? Do that it don't make sense. He don't make sense. And usually I get all hype and yelling and all that because that's just who I am. But bro, when because I understand that they're scared. I sat there and told Bill in the DMs right now, I can read it. I don't got no problem with reading it because you as well, and you keep trying to tell me I'm scared and
By the time the live stream came to an end, Keyshawn Davis had delivered one clear message to everyone watching. He wanted boxing fans to judge him by what he does inside the ring, not by rumors, headlines, or social media posts. Throughout the broadcast, he made it clear that people are free to believe whatever they want, but he believes the truth will eventually come out when the fight finally happens. In his opinion, the only thing that truly matters is what takes place once the gloves are on and the bell rings. Whether fans agreed with everything he said or not, his appearance added another layer of intensity to an already heated rivalry with the Haney camp. The emotions on both sides were impossible to ignore, and it became obvious that neither camp was interested in backing down. Every public statement, interview, and social media post has only made the tension between them even stronger, keeping boxing fans fully invested in how this story will unfold. As negotiations continue, excitement for the potential showdown keeps growing. Supporters from both sides are eagerly waiting for an official announcement, hoping all the talking will finally lead to action. If the remaining details can be worked out, everything that has happened over the past few months, from the online exchanges to the heated live streams, will build toward one of the most anticipated fights in boxing. At the end of the day, fans don't want endless arguments or social media drama. They want to see Keyshawn Davis and Devin Haney step into the ring, settle their differences face to face, and finally answer the questions that words alone can never resolve.
This say I'm getting phone calls from my manager. The man that put money in my pocket. I'm getting phone calls from my manager? But let me go even further. How much these niggas just be falsely advertising their brand, them. They create narratives that don't make no sense. I'm getting phone calls from my manager promoter, Bill. And then you say I'm not responding to y'all. To you posting every day on Twitter like you a little kid? You post on Twitter every day like you a child. I'm not going back and forth with scary ass niggas, man. I'm not going back and forth knowing that y'all is welling. That y'all are lying.
Bill Haney wasn't about to let the conversation die down. As speculation surrounding a potential fight with Keyshawn Davis continued to grow, he publicly questioned whether Keyshawn was truly serious about making the matchup happen. Through interviews and social media posts, Bill kept applying pressure, suggesting that the delays weren't coming from his side. His comments quickly caught the attention of boxing fans and added another wave of debate to an already heated rivalry. With every public statement, the tension between both camps seemed to grow even stronger. Supporters of Devin Haney believed Bill was simply pushing to get the fight finalized, while Keyshawn's fans argued that the public criticism was being used to shape the narrative before the negotiations were complete. As a result, social media became filled with discussions, predictions, and arguments over who was really responsible for slowing the process down. The rivalry had reached a point where almost every comment from either side instantly became headline news. Even though the fight had not yet been officially finalized, the ongoing war of words kept the matchup in the spotlight. Instead of losing interest, fans became even more invested as each new interview and online exchange added another chapter to the story. The anticipation continued to build because everyone wanted the same answer. Would all this tension finally lead to one of the biggest fights in boxing? Until that question is answered, every public exchange between Keyshawn Davis and Bill Haney is only making the rivalry bigger and keeping the boxing world locked in.
Chance to settle the debate once and for all.
These niggas is fucking chasing me. Look like I got the motherfucker. Look like I'm trying to reel these niggas is chasing me. Ain't these supposed to be the champion? Ain't these supposed to be, Devin Haney?
As the rivalry continued to heat up, respected boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult shared his thoughts on the growing tension between Keyshawn Davis and the Haney camp. In his opinion, the ongoing exchanges weren't just ordinary trash talk. They were proof that this fight had become one of the biggest talking points in boxing. He believes both sides are fully aware of what's at stake, and that's exactly why emotions have been running so high. Every interview, every social media post, and every public comment has only added more excitement to a matchup that fans have been demanding for months. Showbiz also pointed to the WBO's decision to order a purse bid as a major step toward making the fight a reality. According to him, this wasn't just another rumor or online discussion anymore. The situation had reached a stage where official boxing procedures were now in motion, bringing the sport one step closer to seeing Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis share the ring. He explained that once a purse bid is ordered, the pressure increases on everyone involved because the process begins moving toward an official agreement if no deal can be reached beforehand. At the same time, Showbiz argued that all the public back and forth has already done its job by building massive interest in the fight. Now, he believes it's time for the talking to slow down and for the focus to shift toward making the matchup happen. In his view, boxing fans don't want to keep hearing endless debates about negotiations or social media drama. They want contracts signed, a date announced, and both fighters standing across from each other in the ring. If everything moves forward as expected, this long-running rivalry could finally turn into one of the most exciting fights boxing fans have been waiting to see.
AKA Keyshawn. We should have caught on to it because he went to Craig's house looking for Debo. He didn't go to Debo's house. You didn't see a mansion. You didn't see him in front of no place looking for Debo. That's right, Rocky. You didn't see him looking for Debo nowhere. There was no mansion. There was no Maybachs. There was no Lamborghinis. There was no Rolls Royces outside. That was the first indication that Craig wasn't on business.
The rivalry reached another level when Keyshawn Davis and Bill Haney came face-to-face during a live conversation that quickly grabbed the attention of the boxing world. What started as a normal discussion didn't stay calm for long. Within moments, the exchange became tense as both men stood firmly behind their opinions, refusing to back down. Their words reflected just how personal this rivalry has become, and fans watched closely as the conversation grew more heated with every passing minute. During the exchange, Keyshawn made it clear that he believes Devin Haney is avoiding the fight. He explained that, from his perspective, the timing of everything that's happened only strengthens that belief. According to Keyshawn, the Haney camp didn't seriously begin pushing for the matchup until he became the mandatory challenger. He argued that once the pressure from the sanctioning body increased, the conversation around the fight suddenly became much louder, which he believes wasn't a coincidence. Keyshawn also spoke about the path that brought him to this point, saying he has earned every opportunity through his performances inside the ring. He believes becoming the mandatory challenger wasn't something that happened by luck. It was the result of hard work and consistent victories. Because of that, he feels he deserves the biggest fights available and isn't interested in taking a step backward. Whether fans agree with his opinion or not, his confidence was impossible to ignore, and his comments only added more fuel to one of boxing's hottest rivalries. With emotions running high and both camps continuing to trade public shots, the anticipation for a potential showdown with Devin Haney keeps growing, leaving fans eager to see if all the talk will finally lead to a fight inside the ring.
The WBO has officially ordered a purse bid for Devin Haney to defend his welterweight title against Keyshawn Davis. The bid, scheduled for July 27th, will begin at $200,000, with 75% going to Haney and 25% for Davis. And the graphic says WBO orders purse bid for Haney versus Keyshawn, $200,000 minimum. So what does this all mean? It means to me that we're going to get Devin Haney versus Keyshawn Davis. And no more circle.
Ryan Garcia also shared his thoughts on a potential showdown between Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis, and his opinion immediately sparked plenty of discussion among boxing fans. While many people expected him to confidently pick one fighter over the other, Garcia saw the matchup as much closer than most believed. He acknowledged that Keyshawn has the talent, power, and skills to compete at the highest level, but he also reminded everyone that defeating a fighter like Devin Haney is far from an easy task. According to Garcia, Haney has already proven himself against elite competition and knows how to handle the pressure that comes with major fights. He pointed out that experience often becomes the deciding factor in high-level boxing, especially when both fighters have the ability to win. While Keyshawn has shown impressive performances throughout his career, Garcia questioned how he would respond when facing the biggest challenge of his professional journey. Fighting under the bright lights against an experienced champion is completely different from anything he has faced before, and Garcia believes that factor cannot be ignored. At the same time, Garcia made it clear that he isn't counting Keyshawn out. He praised Davis for his natural ability, aggressive style, and confidence, saying those qualities make him a dangerous opponent for anyone in the division. However, he also emphasized that Haney's ring IQ, defensive skills, and experience could make the difference when the pressure is at its highest. In the end, Garcia described the matchup as one of the toughest fights to predict, believing both fighters have a realistic chance of winning. His balanced opinion only added more excitement to an already highly anticipated clash, giving boxing fans even more reason to look forward to what could become one of the biggest fights in the sport.
Unless Debo wants to drop his WBO belt. because it is the sanctioning body who orders the fight and opens the purse bid. So if Devin Haney drops his WBO title, then he doesn't have to participate in this purse bid or even his mandatory fight with Keyshawn Davis. But if he's not going to do that and remain champion, he has to fight Keyshawn Davis, and more than likely the fight will be on DAZN. Why did I say that? Because in a boxing purse bid, any qualified promoter can usually submit a bid, not just the promoters who currently represent the fighters. The exact eligibility depends on the sanctioning body, the WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, but the general rule is that the bidding is open to promoters who meet that organization's requirement. And if you don't know, all of the promoters are on DAZN, except for
Tim Bradley also brought up an interesting point about the business side of boxing, reminding fans that making a big fight isn't always as simple as two fighters agreeing to step into the ring. While everyone is focused on seeing Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis face each other, Bradley explained that financial opportunities can sometimes influence a fighter's next move just as much as rankings or rivalries. He wondered whether Keyshawn might consider a different opponent if another fight offered a more attractive payday. Bradley pointed to the possibility of Keyshawn facing Frank Martin instead, suggesting that the financial rewards could make that matchup worth considering. He explained that boxing is not only about proving who the better fighter is but also about making smart career decisions. Every major fight involves negotiations between promoters, networks, and sanctioning bodies, and those discussions often determine which matchups become reality. Because of that, fans don't always get the fight they expect, even when both fighters seem interested. He also broke down how a purse bid works, explaining that if the two sides fail to reach an agreement, qualified promoters can compete for the rights to stage the fight by submitting financial bids. That process can completely change how a fight is promoted and where it eventually takes place. According to Bradley, these business decisions are just as important as what happens inside the ring because they can shape the future of both fighters' careers. While fans continue to debate who would win between Haney and Keyshawn, Bradley reminded everyone that the biggest challenge might actually be getting the deal finalized. Until every piece of the business puzzle falls into place, the boxing world will continue waiting for official confirmation that one of the sport's most anticipated matchups is finally set.
Honestly, I think them boys scared of me, man.
Hold on, you think Devin's scared?
Yeah, man, and I'm not the person that's gonna throw like scared out there if I really don't feel like it's true. I think he's really scared of me, and I think he's running to Shakur. The proof is in the pudding, man. He wasn't really, Bill, he wasn't really calling for the Shakur fight until I became his mandatory. They started pushing the out of him and Shakur once I was his mandatory. And at the end of the day, y'all picking on a guy that's at 124 that came up from 126. Bill and Devin, they started at 135, just like me. So I just feel like they're picking on a naturally smaller fighter that they, if you go back in their box ranking, you'll see it, but I feel like they're picking on the naturally smaller fighters. And the only thing I got to say is, fight somebody your own size, man. Fight.
Terrence Crawford also shared his opinion on Devin Haney, and his comments carried extra weight because they came from one of the most respected fighters in boxing. Rather than focusing on the ongoing drama surrounding the negotiations, Crawford chose to highlight Haney's mindset and willingness to take on the toughest challenges. In his view, Haney has never been the type of fighter to avoid difficult opponents. Throughout his career, he has consistently shown a desire to test himself against some of the biggest names in the sport, regardless of the risks involved. Crawford praised Haney's confidence and competitive attitude, explaining that great fighters don't build their reputations by taking easy fights. Instead, they look for opportunities to prove themselves against elite competition. That's exactly how Crawford sees Haney. He believes Haney has earned respect by repeatedly stepping into the ring with talented opponents and showing that he is willing to face anyone if the opportunity makes sense. Those qualities, according to Crawford, are what separate top-level champions from the rest of the division. His comments also added another important perspective to the growing debate surrounding a potential fight with Keyshawn Davis. While fans continue arguing over who would come out on top, Crawford's message was clear. Devin Haney is still one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing and should never be underestimated. No matter who stands across the ring from him, Haney has already proven that he belongs among the sport's elite. With respected champions like Crawford publicly backing Haney's mentality and accomplishments, the anticipation for a possible showdown with Keyshawn Davis continues to grow, making it one of the most talked about matchups in boxing today. Oshaquia Foster also gave his thoughts on a potential showdown between Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis, and he didn't hesitate to share who he believes would come out on top. While acknowledging that the matchup would be exciting for boxing and highly competitive, Foster believes Haney's experience gives him a significant advantage. In his opinion, Keyshawn has all the talent needed to become a champion, but facing someone as experienced and disciplined as Haney is a completely different challenge. Foster explained that Devin Haney has spent years competing against elite-level opponents, and those experiences have helped him develop into one of the smartest fighters in the sport. According to Foster, Haney's ability to stay patient, follow a game plan, and make adjustments during a fight is what makes him so difficult to beat. Rather than getting drawn into unnecessary exchanges, Haney has built a reputation for controlling the pace of a fight and forcing his opponents to compete on his terms. At the same time, Foster praised Keyshawn Davis for his skills and admitted that he has the potential to become one of the best fighters in the division. However, he believes Keyshawn still needs a little more experience before taking on someone with Haney's level of ring IQ and championship pedigree. Foster pointed to some of Keyshawn's previous performances, saying there were moments where a more experienced opponent could have taken advantage of certain mistakes. Against a fighter like Haney, he believes those small mistakes could make a huge difference. Even with his prediction favoring Haney, Foster made it clear that this is still a fight he would love to watch. He believes both fighters have bright futures and that a matchup between them would create plenty of excitement for the boxing world. As more respected voices continue to weigh in, the debate over who would win only becomes more intense, building even more anticipation for a fight that fans are hoping will finally become a reality.
Supposedly I'm on Devin's last point of his list.
No. But everybody
that's what Bill said.
Who finna fight? Who ain't finna fight now? No. Cause
I think he's on fire, Keyshawn.
No, because everybody wants to see if
He ain't beating
if it will
You don't
be a
think?
difference.
Wait, who do you think wins? Devin or Keyshawn?
It's a good fight. I fuck with both of them.
I don't know. Keyshawn seems like the guy to do the job, but I don't know.
No. I mean, of course you'll say that, but it's a
No,
hell of a fight.
What I'm saying is I think Devin will give Shakur more problems than he'd give Keyshawn. I think because Shakur never really fought a guy like, it's a weird style for him, in my opinion. I'm just saying, man, styles make fights.
Hey, listen, bro.
This is barbershop talk.
Devin is a tough fight for anybody.
I said Devin Haney will beat Brian Norman Jr. when everybody counted him out. I said, nah, I think Devin got Brian.
That was easy.
Right?
That was easy.
No, but everybody picked Brian because he said he had a left hook. It's not about the left hook, it's about how you place it.
That was easily picked.
No, it was not.
They were judging Haney off your
Yeah, that's exactly
your
what
last
it
For
is.
me, it was.
Keyshawn is a dog, though.
I know, but with his aggressiveness and Devin staying sharp, it's gonna be a lot of openings, bro.
That's true. That's a good one.
And with Devin just sticking to the game plan, staying sharp, it's gonna be a lot of openings, bro.
It's gonna be a good at fade though.
I want to see
But
that.
it's gonna be a great fight. It's a great fight.
I want to see that.
And Keyshawn got that dog to go get whatever. So, you know what I'm saying? In that fight, I just love to see it.
Yeah.
I'm not picking no winner.
All right, Tank and Devin.
Tank.
I got Devin, surprisingly.
So damn.
Richardson Hitchens offered a completely different opinion when discussing a potential fight between Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis. While many boxing experts have leaned toward Haney because of his experience, Hitchens believes Keyshawn has what it takes to pull off the upset. In his view, Davis isn't just another challenger looking for a title shot. He's a fighter with the talent, confidence, and all-around ability to become the next big name in the sport. According to Hitchens, Keyshawn possesses a more complete natural skill set than many people give him credit for. He believes Davis has the speed, power, timing, and versatility needed to compete with anyone in the division. More importantly, Hitchens feels Keyshawn has the mindset to rise to the occasion when the pressure is at its highest. He explained that championship fights are often decided by who can make the right adjustments at the right moment, and he believes Keyshawn has the boxing IQ to do exactly that. Hitchens also suggested that a victory over Devin Haney would completely change the direction of Keyshawn's career. Defeating a champion of Haney's caliber would instantly elevate Davis into the conversation as one of the top fighters in the sport and prove that he belongs among boxing's elite. A win like that wouldn't just earn him a world title, it would also earn him the respect of fans, analysts, and fellow fighters across the boxing world. With respected names throughout the sport continuing to share different opinions, the debate over this potential matchup has become even more exciting. Some believe Haney's experience and ring IQ will be the deciding factors, while others are convinced Keyshawn's youth, confidence, and aggressive style could be enough to produce a career-defining victory. One thing is certain, the closer this fight gets to becoming official, the more anticipation continues to build. If both men eventually step into the ring, boxing fans could witness one of the most competitive and talked about fights of the year.